The film, The First Grader, directed by Justin Chadwick, is based on the true story of Kimani Maruge, an 84-year-old Kenyan villager and former Mau Mau freedom fighter who fight for his right to attend school for the first time to get the education he could never afford. I recently had an opportunity to discuss the inspiring and heartwarming film with one of its lead actors and Kenyan native, Oliver Litondo.
What struck me about the character of Maruge was his sheer determination to succeed in life, persistence and inspirational kind of message that came through his character. A man who had been a young man who wanted to get an education during the colonial times. He couldn't because his parents couldn't afford it. And then he joined the Mau Mau struggle for independence after that. And he was detained, and he came out after independence thinking things were better. He would go to school or he would get some things free, and he didn't. So when the free education was announced by the Kenya government, I think in 2003, he decided, at this age, I've been wanting this. It is here, it is free. So I'm going for it. So his character was a determined character, a stubborn character, and an inspiring character. Those are some of the qualities that really made me want to do the character of Maruge.
And you're kind of younger than Maruge, of course, but you really manage, when you look at this movie, to get into that character perfectly. Have you in the past played a role where you portrayed a much older person?
Not really. This was my first time to do that. And I must congratulate and give many praises to the makeup girls. And they were all Kenyan girls who did the makeup. Yeah. And they did a wonderful job. They aged me. They made me look like an old man. And surely that is the artistic part of filming, when you can change somebody into something that he probably would not be or is not. So that's true. That the makeup, the costuming, and the whole production of the film, the people involved in the artistic part of the filmmaking are the people who succeed in molding the character's appearance, and they did a wonderful job on me.
Now, Oliver, you know, many times people act the person, play a role of a person who lived perhaps once upon a time. When you got the script, Maruge was still alive.
Yes.
But something happened. Maybe you want to share that with us.
Yeah, Maruge was alive when I got the script. He had been dislocated from his farm in Eldoret. He was living in an old people's home in somewhere in Kariobangi. And when I got the script, I was going to meet him, in fact, on my second trip back in Nairobi with the director. But that same week, Maruge passed away before I met him.
So you never got to see him?
I never got to see him at all. Yeah. He passed away and was unfortunate. But fortunately, he was living with his granddaughter. She became very close to the production team. And I got to know her. And she got to talk about the old man, how he was, his behaviors, and so on and so forth. So through her, I got to know Maruge as a person, even though I didn't meet him personally.
Okay. Yes. Other than the script that you read, beautifully written, how much did your interaction with the granddaughter and perhaps any other family member help you in actually kind of getting really into the mindset of Maruge?
Yeah. Well, I had to do quite a bit of reading also of books on Mau Mau. I read a book, The Mau Mau Detainee by the late J.M. Kariuki, you remember him. Yes. The White Highlands No More by somebody called Obuor, and a number of others to get to know what was behind the struggle and how these people like Maruge got to get into the liberation struggle for Kenya's freedom. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of understanding of that struggle, of which Maruge was one. The script was written very well. Anne Peacock, the scriptwriter, had been to Kenya. She did her research. She went to the school where Maruge was enrolled. She interviewed the head mistress, Mrs. Obinchu. Actually, that is her name. Her real name, those names were real. So these tidbits here and there gave me the chance of knowing the character of Maruge.
Well, that was Kenyan native Oliver Litondo, one of the lead actors in the film The First Graders, speaking with us today on In Focus.